Here we have Detective Ashley McPetty going into men's spaces to see what men are really saying when they're talking to each other. These people really don't like us. I think this is either a red pill group or an incel group. It's called It's That Bad. This man says, kill your lust and you'll realize how many women are actually boring and not worth your time or effort. They don't want to be your friends. They don't like you, but they will screw you, but they don't really like women. But this man says you learn this power the hard way after plenty of rejections and time wasted chasing them. But once you control your emotional impulse, everything useless will lose importance and priority. Black Wolf says, why should they be? They get everything from multiple simps on a silver platter. No need to be interesting or engaged. Just be passive. Just be lazy. Give weak replies. Ask fewer questions. Nuke the relationship once a greener grass comes along. Bear Seat says, just jerk off before you make any decisions that you can't take back and really think it through. So this is the hard-hitting advice they're giving each other. Substantial Video says, most women are not that interesting, to be honest. Attractive to look at, but not much going on behind the eyes. Now we have Lost Elderberry. He says they are only interesting, or at least try to be interesting, if they have some kind of feelings for you. Other than that, they don't really care or give attention out to some random dude. It's just not how they are wired. They have to have some degree of attraction to you. No, doesn't need to be sexually or physically. It could even be they just think you are funny. They are so dead unless they feel something with you or if they know you will give something. Other than that, the baseline is so commonly meh. Biggest life lesson I've ever learned is women need to be entertained. If they aren't, then they have no use for you. PP would say, who is PP? PP will say, it's 1,000 times over, but it is absolutely no cap. You are the transaction or your money is, and often both. Men are not that interesting for women to be sitting up here just waiting to be entertained by them. So that's really strange to say, but okay. Downtown Tension at the bottom says agreed. After going so hard on the apps and chasing so much, I feel like my brain is fried for trying to text multiple women who text back dryly. To the point now, I dread texting women. This is in the purple pill debate, so there are women in this group. This man says, has feminism gone too far in the West? He says, I fully support equal rights for women, the right to vote, work, bodily autonomy, the right to be respected and protected from violence, etc. We're starting off good. He says, but I feel that in Western countries, feminists have long ago achieved their goals, so there's nothing else we're fighting for. Women have climbed the corporate ladder, become leaders, and outperform men academically. This has led to resentment amongst men and the rise of well-known misogynists that are popular among disillusioned young men. I see third-wave feminism as some women seeking to take the place that men used to have in oppressing women in society. Criticism of female behavior is often dismissed as misogyny. So you're seeing that he's already like conflating things, like behaviors that they don't like in women. They see that as feminism. He started off strong, but now it's starting to flounder. Feminism is still very relevant in developing nations where patriarchal rules still apply. I see the burqa as oppressive, for example, and don't think women should be forced or encouraged to cover their faces. Disclaimer, I worked in a female-dominated work environment. Women would gossip and backstab each other, making comments about other women's appearance and personal lives. I was humiliated and disparaged by women in leadership. I never encountered men acting this way in the workplace. So, you see at the bottom, there are some behaviors in women that he doesn't like. Okay, bet, that happens. Women are human. That has nothing to do with feminism. But anytime they see something that has to do with women, they say, that is just toxic feminism. That's the way their brain attaches things. Anything a woman does that they don't like, a woman is gossiping. A woman sucks. This particular woman wants you for your money. So feminism sucks in general. That is how their brain thinks. I did talk in here, but me talking allows the men to talk. So I said, what specific tenets of feminism would you like to turn back? Because having gossipy women or backstabbing women at your job doesn't mean anything. Are you implying that women have too many rights or that men are oppressed? The OP says, I would like to see a nuanced discussion, as others here have, about where second and third wave feminism is heading and whether it's in the best interest of society. This part made my ears perk up because he's speaking my language. He says, we have plummeting birth rates in the West. Some of it's due to cost of living, but it's becoming increasingly obvious that relations between men and women are strained, and there's a lack of trust and mismatched expectations. Y'all know that was just like me, just like getting ready to respond. He says, I do not wish to take away any rights from women. I do not wish to get involved in women's business either. Men are not necessarily oppressed, but definitely disillusioned, hence turning to toxic figures that promote male dominance as a solution. So a lot of the things that he's saying is kind of mushy, like he doesn't have a particular stance. He knows that feminism is not bad. He said he's all about women having equal rights, but he sees that men are going hard right, so he doesn't really know how to fix it. So feminism must be the issue. So here's me. Women are opting out and loudly speaking on why. I'm a feminist content creator, and one of the things I say multiple times a week is that the birth rates need to plummet to hell. Women say on a day-to-day basis that men need to participate in the home, do more chores and parenting. Child-free women see how beat down moms get. Women have to carry the majority of the financial burden, the majority of the hands-on time like homework and extracurriculars, and most appointments. Child-free women are saying nope. And I talk to so many women daily. Women are pretty much done, and all the others going on in the political and economic climates play a factor. But men's lack of shouldering the load gets mentioned daily. So this is me. I don't talk to men a lot, but this is me trying to be helpful. And now here we have a man. He says, no, there is no amount of men doing house chores or child rearing that will make women want to have children. He just said no. He knows what women want. Notice how single mothers never get mentioned. They're not being burdened by men. There's no men around at all. Child-free women say no to anything that doesn't bring them joy because they've already made up their minds long before noticing mothers. It's just easier to blame men. He continues with, struggle is not suffering. Lack of struggle only makes a person want to keep avoiding struggle. If men gave birth instead of women, women would run away too. No one wants responsibility. I said, honestly, I don't think things will change. Y'all very rarely listen to women anyway. It shows that most of y'all will never even attempt to hear us. So I'll continue to say, let the birth rate plummet to hell. And then the man says, men hear women all the time, but men do deductive reasoning based on what people do, not just what they hear people say. And then he pulls this random quote, I don't know. Men need to stop being deadbeat fathers and start being attentive husbands. Fine, but that's not the whole truth. Why isn't that the whole truth? Stop being deadbeats and start being attentive. Like what is that? What's the problem with that? And then he hones in on where I said, so I'll continue to say, let the birth rate plummet to hell. And he says, this isn't a simple statement. It's an action of spite and revenge. It's not a solution, but coercion. Either men do house chores or women will let the human race die off. Okay, I mean, that's a trade-off. And women say they dislike being pressured by men, but have no problem doing it to men, like making them do housework and parent is pressuring them. That's the reason why I'm like, don't have babies with them. Know what else women don't like men doing? When men clean the house just to prevent women from complaining about it because it invalidates women. Lazy men don't think they're great for being lazy. Women do. Seen plenty of men whom were decent fathers and husbands, and women threw them away anyway. Jada Pinkett. Oh God, those people. Women like to play games, high stakes or not, when they feel a rush of power like social dominance. It's really weird to bring in Will Smith into this situation, considering he was a cheater and not a good husband, but okay. Women believe they're entitled to be free of struggle unless it validates them. Men know they have to go through some kind of struggle, regardless if it's to their benefit or not, and use that to validate themselves because life doesn't have convenient solutions. I never said that women have to be free of struggle. I simply said that men need to participate in the home. They don't want to. So they say all of this gobbledygook to say, I'm not going to participate in the home. So I will continue to say, let the birth rate plummet to hell.